Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for becoming a member of Chaikin Analytics. This video is part one of your onboarding process. Each part of the onboarding video series is important in helping you get the most you can out of Chaikin Analytics, really understanding how it works as we teach you a repeatable process using the Chaikin Analytics platform. This first video is about the first step you should be taking when becoming a member of Chaikin Analytics, and that is to get your stocks into the Chaikin Analytics platform. We do this by creating a list and bringing our stocks into that list. So what is step one? Well, it is to click on the three horizontal lines in the top left corner of our screen. When we do, our list panel will now open. We can see a number of different user lists I've already created since I've been using Chaikin Analytics for a little while. If you're just getting started today, my stocks would be the only user list here. Now, you could edit the My Stocks list and put your stocks in that list, but I'd like to show you today how to create your own list from scratch. To do that, we of course click New List. When we click New List, a white box with a cursor appears, and now we can type in whatever we want to call our list. I'm going to call mine Example, since that's what this is. To create your list, you must hit Enter or Return on your keyboard. I repeat, if you click somewhere else at this point, your list will not create. You must hit Enter or Return on your keyboard to create your list. Now, there is no limit to the number of lists you can create in Chaikin Analytics. There's no limit to the number of stocks you can place in any one list in Chaikin Analytics. And while I encourage you to begin with at least one list, you could organize that how you see fit. Perhaps it makes sense for you to do a different list for each of your different accounts. Maybe it makes sense to organize based on different trade styles. Or perhaps you're a financial advisor and you have model portfolios or prospect or client accounts you'd like to have in each of their own lists. The whole point of this is to organize your stocks in the way that makes sense for you. Create at least one list, and we want to get our stocks into that list. Now, once we've hit Enter or Return on our keyboard, we can see our list is created. It becomes our highlighted list immediately in blue here. And that means that it becomes our list in view here. And it says to add symbols to your list, type in the box above. So let's do that. That box above is here in the top left corner where it says symbol or name. So I'm going to click there and type in a ticker. I'll type in INTC for Intel Corporation. To add Intel to your list, it is very easy. All you need to do is click on the black plus here. Added to your list. If you do not know the ticker for the company you want to add, that's okay. You can type in a company name, Microsoft. Click the black plus to add it to your list. What about ETFs? Absolutely. You can add ETFs to your list, QQQs, the NASDAQ, absolutely. Click the plus, add it right to our list. You can see how simple it is to create lists and add stocks to your list in Chaikin Analytics. Quick aside, perhaps you don't want to add a stock to your list. You just want to look at a chart. That's okay. If you wanted to just look at the chart for Sage here, you could click anywhere in the blue. You could hit Enter or Return on your keyboard, or you could click this chart icon. Each of those actions would show you the chart without adding this stock to your list. I do want to add it to my list, however. Let's do one more stock here. There you go. How quick and easy was it to create a list of 9 stocks and ETFs? The process is simple to do. It's easy to manage the stocks in our list as well. Look what happens when I hover my mouse over the stocks in my list. Do you see the X that's appearing here in the top right corner? If I want to delete Microsoft from my list, all I need to do is left click that X, delete it. It's also easy to manage the lists themselves. By hovering my mouse over the name of each list, you can see 2 icons appear. This pencil icon lets me rename my list or make it my default list so it would load first when I log into Chaikin Analytics. I could also delete the list in its entirety by clicking this X. It will prompt you, are you sure you want to delete this list? And you would hit continue to delete it. I'll hit cancel since we just created it and we're still working with the list currently. Easy to create lists manually, but what if you have a very large number of stocks at an outside source? Maybe it's another website, maybe it's your broker. Well, you can easily import that into a brand new list here in Chaikin Analytics. Modern websites all have export features. For example, by right-clicking on the list you have highlighted here in Chaikin Analytics, Export List appears. This will download a file to your computer with the tickers inside this list. At your other source, your other site, please export the list of tickers that you want to bring into Chaikin Analytics. I would recommend you open that file on your computer and delete anything that is not a ticker. We want to get rid of headers, performance info, company names. We're just looking to import tickers like we typed in manually here when we created this list. Save that file to your computer of tickers and then come back into Chaikin Analytics. And here under the gear icon, you will find our import list feature. Click import list. From this screen, you will choose the file that is saved to your computer. I have a file called import test. That's the one I want to import. It will fill in the list name based on the title of your file, but you can change it to whatever you want it to say and click next. If you made your file only one single column of tickers, there is nothing else you need to do on this screen except hit import. It will take a second, whether it's 70, 80, 10 stocks. Close this out here, let it load up. And we can now see the imported list is now a brand new user list in Chaikin Analytics. Folks, it is simple to create and manage lists in Chaikin Analytics. And it's important. This is how you can easily keep track and analyze your stocks. Please make sure the first thing you are doing when you start with Chaikin Analytics is to get your stocks into the platform. Now that we've created our list, let's talk about the list itself. The first thing I would like you to notice is that our stocks and ETFs are in order of the power gauge rating. The power gauge rating is one of the most important parts of Chaikin Analytics. It is a very important part in recognizing strong and weak stocks. And in video number 2, we will discuss exactly how to recognize and read our data to find strong and weak stocks. So please make sure you check that out. But the power gauge rating is a forward-thinking quantitative rating that helps us understand the likelihood that a stock will outperform in the months ahead. Our very bullish are listed first, followed by bullish, then neutral, then bearish. Very bearish here listed at the bottom. If we have 2 or more stocks with the same rating, they are alphabetized. They are in alphabetical order. You can see ETFs mix right in. We do not separate them out. There's no value judgment between ACLS, Intel, the Qs, and CINA here. They are all very bullish, and then they are alphabetized. However, even though RMR is a bullish rated stock, it is not very bullish, and therefore it will come after every very bullish stock, regardless of the alphabetical order it is in. We can see price information as well right here in our list. You'll notice price info for CINA here, price info here as well for CINA, price info here at the top for the 3 major indices or the ETFs that mirror those 3 major indices, and an intraday price bar as well. CINA is down for the day, and therefore our intraday price bar is red. If CINA was up for the day, the intraday bar would be green. All our previous day's price bars do stay green at all times. All of the information here, the pricing info I've highlighted, updates once per minute, really once every 80 seconds or so. The quotes are not delayed. They just don't hit every tick. This is the only thing that updates intraday in Chaikin Analytics. Everything else updates once per day, from your overbought, oversold, and relative strength and Chaikin money flow to the power gauge rating itself for a stock. Once per day, overnight, as we crunch data from a number of different sources. There's one final caveat to that, as the power gauge rating for an ETF does update once per week on Sundays. The list does allow you to edit the order the stocks are in, and ETFs as well, by clicking right here. It does give you sorting choices, but defaults to power gauge rating order. One last important thing about lists. It is this tri-colored display at the top of your list. It's called our power bar. And for lack of a better term, really because I think it's the right one, the power bar is very powerful. It allows you to understand the health of any list in Chaikin Analytics in only a glance. And it does that by showing you the number of bullish, neutral, and bearish stocks in that list. The rating is forward thinking. So as we see a list that skews more heavily to the bullish side, we can understand that that group is likely to outperform in the months ahead. Now, this list only has 8 individual equities in it now, but if you have used our import feature and brought in many different stocks and ETFs, 70 or 80, it would be much more difficult to understand the health of that group, that list. This power bar, which exists throughout Chaikin Analytics, can be your quick reference guide. We hope this video has been a good first step. Make sure you get your stocks into Chaikin Analytics immediately. Once you've done that, let's move on together to video number 2, reading our charts and recognizing our data. Even if you've been investing or trading for years, it doesn't mean you've used our data and seen how it works together. So please make sure you take the time to view video number 2. Thanks so much.